Hello, everyone. It's Nicole from College Bridge. Here is your recorded lesson for our college transition plan for the class of 2021 about locating and understanding your college graduation requirements. This is important for you to take a look at because you need to know what you need to do to graduate from college, obviously, but also this is going to help you get a much better start and be better prepared in picking your first semester of college classes, which you are going to be doing very soon at your college orientation. All right, so I have a couple of, well, actually I have a handful of slides to go through, so we'll just kind of jump in and get started. First is I want to address students who are going to attend a community college, all right? So if you are going to attend a community college with the intent of transferring, all right, to a four-year school, or even if you're not, maybe you're just going to get an associate's degree or whatever your plans may be, a couple of things for you to know, all right? First off is your math dual enrollment class, your SLAM class, is going to fulfill, all right, the general education, the lower division general education requirement if you do plan on transferring to a UC and a CSU. All right, so it will work whether you're going straight to a four-year or you're going to community college first. All right, both will work. And again, you may or may not need to take additional math at your community college. It's really going to depend on your major, and I'll be talking more about that later in the presentation. Okay. But my most important piece of advice for community college bound students is if your plan, all right, is to transfer to a UC, a CSU, or even really any college out of state, public, private, you want to meet with your transfer counselor as soon as possible, meaning your first semester in college. Don't wait until you're a year or two in to go in and say, hey, I want to transfer, to Cal State Long Beach or whatever it is that you want to go. Community college transfers are extremely successful if they are planned from the beginning, all right, not put together, a year or two into college. If you wait, you may find yourself at the community college an additional year or two before you're able to transfer. All right, so it's a complicated process and just want to put that out there. But I want the community college bound students to listen to the rest of this presentation because it will apply to you, all right, eventually. And I think it will help you better understand what you are doing at the community college level in order to successfully transfer to a four-year. Okay, so with that being said, I am going to use Cal State Dominguez Hills as my example college to talk about what a four-year graduation plan looks like. So at every college, you will have a list of things you need to do in order to graduate, all right, just like you do in high school. So at Cal State Dominguez Hills, they require that you have a minimum of 120 units, and that's pretty standard, okay, across schools that are working on a semester system. You have to take a particular course pattern for general education. You have to take a particular course pattern for your major, all right, and your minor or double major or whatever you're getting your degrees in. And then you have to have a minimum GPA, all right, in order to graduate. So this presentation is really going to focus on how your dual enrollment math class fits in with your general education requirements and possibly your major. It's going to depend on your major. So again, if you're going to a CSU, this is applicable to you. If you're going to a UC or another school, it's going to be very similar, all right, but I think you'll understand the concept. Okay, so when you enroll in college as a first-time freshman, and this is at all colleges, community college, four-year, whatever, you will need to be placed in a certain level of math or English, okay? Some schools have you take a placement test. Others are looking at things like your high school transcript, your SAT scores, if you have them, all of that. Now at the CSU, they have a 4-category system for both math and English. Now, if you passed your math dual enrollment class, your math slam class, you actually will fall into category 1, which means you've actually finished your math requirement for your general education. So that's awesome, right? You don't even have to worry about being placed or college ready or anything like that. If you passed your dual enrollment math class, you are good to go. And that's for all subjects: statistics, pre-calculus, calculus, college algebra, whatever course you took. So if you did not pass your dual enrollment math class, then you have to determine, or the college will determine for you, which category you fall into as far as placement. So good news for almost all of you. You're ready to just kind of move into the rest of your college courses and not have to worry about your general education math. And I want to note that this same process applies on the English side. So you can research that if you're interested, or just know that there is a similar placement process for English as well as math. Okay, so with the CSU, now this is good for all CSUs. There are these categories, all right, A through F. So you had to complete A through G in high school. At the CSU, you have to complete A through F. UCs have a similar pattern, but it's labeled completely differently. But like I said, if you passed your dual enrollment math course, you have completed area B, the natural sciences and quantitative reasoning. So that's important for you to know, so that when you go to your college orientation and you are registering for classes, you know that you've already completed this. Now you have to, of course, get your transcript submitted and all of that. So even if there's a delay in your transcript or you haven't done it yet, if you just know and understand that you've completed this area, you will be good to go and be able to plan accordingly. All right, I want to walk you through in detail with, oh, here we go. This is just another illustration of where exactly you have completed. So area B is natural sciences and quantitative reasoning. You can choose, these different classes here. So you have fulfilled the quantitative reasoning section here at the bottom. Okay, so it's going to go into a couple of majors, specific majors, so that you can see a little bit better how this works. So I'm going to start off with a biology major. Okay, so this is the first 2 years, year 1 and 2, of the recommended 4-year plan for a Bachelor of Science biology major at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So colleges put together these plans for almost all majors, right? Almost every college does this. And it's basically your guide, it's your roadmap. They map it out here for you: semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, 4, all of that. Now, this is just the generic pattern to follow. You don't have to do it this way, but if you're the type of student where you just kind of want a checklist, this is great. Okay, and I'm going to talk more about how to find your checklist at the end of this presentation. But this tells you, if you don't know what classes to take, here you go. Fall 2021, if you're a bio major at this school, you're going to take GE Area 1, Chemistry 110, Math 131, and GE Area 3. Okay, now, if you were following this schedule and you were enrolled in the SLAM statistics class, Math 131, you've already completed that class, all right? Because Math 131 is statistics, right? So you've already taken it. Good, you're good to go. So what that does is that frees up a space in your schedule for you to put in something else. So you can see how even these recommended schedules can get modified. So another example is GE Area 1 is English. All right. So if you passed AP English with a 3 or higher, either language or literature, you're not going to have to take that class because you're getting your AP credits. So again, you have to take these guidelines, or not these guidelines, these roadmaps, and apply them to your individual situation. Okay. So this is an example of year 1 and 2. I also wanted to point out in semester 3 for this particular major, it gives you the option of taking Math 171 or 191, 191 is regular calculus. So in order to take regular calculus, you have to have completed pre-calculus. So if you took SLAM, all right, pre-calculus math 153, you are already done with that prerequisite, right? So you can see it's getting complicated, and there will be advisors to walk you through all of this. And this is the whole point of why we're doing this early, right? Because you have to go over it a couple of times to get all the nuances. So these are the first 2 years. And what I want to also point out here is that it's color coded. So you have some rows that are in white and some that are in the light yellow. The light yellow is the GE and the white are the classes in the major. Now, this is why I want to bring back in and get the attention of the community college students, because I know that there's kind of this idea of going to community college and just getting your GE completed and out of the way, all right? But if you take a look at what's happening at the 4-year university, the first 2 years are not made up entirely of general education. They're taking a mix of general education and classes in the major, all right? And that's what you should be doing as well at the community college. So if you're at the community college, you could follow this similar pattern, all right, of what courses the people at the 4-year school are taking and try to mirror that. And that's not only going to help you keep a good balance of classes, it's going to also make you or put you in a better position to transfer. All right. So that you can have all of these lower division classes completed in your major, because when you then transfer in or when you move on to being a junior, all right, here's what the year 3 and 4 recommendations look like. And you can see it's mostly white, okay, which are classes in the major. So if you only took general education at community college, when you get to the 4-year, you're going to have to go back and take all of these classes for the major before you can take these additional courses in the major. So like I mentioned earlier, you know, if you don't have a plan at community college, it can really lengthen the time that you are in school overall. Okay, so that is an example of a science major, a STEM major. Now I want to show what a non-STEM major might look like. So we're going to take a look at, this is still Cal State Dominguez Hills, so we'll take a look at a sociology major. Now, this seems to contradict exactly everything I just said, but this particular major actually does encourage you to take all of your GEs in your first couple of years, or most of your GEs, because it's kind of part of the exploration of the major. Okay, and I chose this major very specifically because sociology consists of a lot of general education type courses. So it makes sense. So you can see here, it's mostly yellow. And I also wanted to point out that here in semester 2, it says to do your GE, okay, quantitative reasoning. And if you have passed your SLAM dual enrollment class, you've already done it, all right, at this college. So you can free this space up to take a different class. So sociology, this is what the first 2 years would look like. All right, and then the second 2 years, year 3 and 4, okay, you can see that we have more white areas. And this is this particular major actually has a lot of electives. All right, so you get to actually have a lot of flexibility and choices that you can take in this particular major. Okay, so those are 2 samples. I want to show you some more examples of what you might find. All right. So your homework or your task is to explore your major at your college. So these are some examples of what you might find. I just showed you 2 examples from Dominguez Hills. All right. These are 2 examples from 2 different schools that are not great. All right, like I said, some colleges provide the 4-year plan well, and some not. So you can see the top one, this is a major in political science for, it looks like the first year, all right, and they're on a quarter system. So you can see that it's very vague, you know, lower division writing, lower division political science, gen ed. So if you get something like this from your college, unfortunately, that's what you have as of today. Once you get to the college or go to your orientation, hopefully you'll get something more specific. Um, the next one is another example that also happens to be from another sociology major at a different college. And you can see again, it's mostly general education classes, right? But the format that you're going to see is going to really vary from college to college. Now I'm going to show you another good example. All right, this is a computer science major at a University of California campus. I tend to think that the majors that have highly specific courses that you have to take for the major usually have much better and much more detailed four-year plans for you to look at, because again, it is so specific and you don't have as much choice and flexibility. So this has a four-year plan, very condensed. This UC is on a quarter system, so you're taking less classes every quarter than you do on semesters. So you can see they start you out nice and easy with only 3 classes, right? And then you kind of build from there. But you have all these computer science classes. I'm not sure what ECE stands for, but it's something in the computer science realm as well. You have some physics, you have some math. But yeah, if you get a good one when you do your Google search, which we're going to talk about next, then you will be good to go. All right, so how do you find your particular four-year plan? Okay, you could try to hunt around on the website. You could go to your academic department, but sometimes these four-year plans are really hard to find. So do the shortcut. Just Google, put in the name of your college, the name of your major, and four-year plan. So if you're going to Cal State Long Beach in bioengineering, four-year plan, okay, or University of California, Santa Barbara, art history, four-year plan, right? Whatever it is, just do a Google search. They can be very hard to find, and quite often it is not the first, it's not in the top result that you get. So if you just click the first result on your Google search, that's probably not going to be it. You might have to go down into the second, third, or fourth hit, all right, on your Google search, not page, but the actual hit on page 1. So just keep clicking around. Keep trying. You want to get something that looks like the examples, okay, that I've shown you. Some are going to look like a website and they might look a little bit complicated. So check around and see if you can download a PDF, okay, or have it in some format that's a little bit more user friendly. So just keep trying. But if you really are having a hard time finding your four-year plan, please just go ahead and email me, or you can come to one of my live session workshops and I can help you navigate Google to find what you need. Now, a couple of you, we may not be able to find it at all. First, because maybe your academic major doesn't have a four-year plan that's available online. That happens occasionally. Another thing that happens occasionally is that the only way to see your four-year plan is to log into your student portal. So that could be a barrier as well. So just play around with it. But as always, I'm here. Here's my email. Just send me a quick email and say, you know, I can't find it, you know, and I'll do what I can to help you, because I know that this is a hard task. And usually, you know, if we were in the classroom, we would be doing this live and I'd be walking around the room answering all your questions, but we're not at school right now. So this is what we're doing. Okay, everybody, I hope you found this helpful. So please, after you have done your homework with finding your four-year plan, then you can move on to the next lesson, which is about planning your fall semester schedule. All right, everybody, we'll see you later. Thanks.